Hello. Come on, vlog fans. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another one of these. I'm actually going to do Friday night. Since this is Friday night, I wanted to do something a little different. So this is the Massachusetts, what they call automotive radio show. But it's going to be more of a radio show episode technically tonight because it just is. So, so as you guys know, it's probably going to be, this review is not going to be too long because it's a movie. So, I'm going to be maybe 6 minutes with the review. And actually, it's probably going to be 10 minutes with the review. So this is more of a review rather than a radio show. So, so here's a review radio show episode. So, so Dragonball Superhero came out on August 19th at, well, actually started taping Thursday night, for a total of, I'm trying to, seriously, trying to prop myself up here on something that isn't going to fall. Here you go. So hello everyone. So I saw that on, so it debuted August 19th. Well, it opened officially August 19th. There was some Thursday night previews on the 18th. So I went to go see it Monday. So how were the weather conditions? Well, it was pouring rain, and I almost barely didn't get there. I almost turned around and went home. So yeah, so what I'm gonna say is as I got the movie theater around 1:30. I was gonna see a 1:30 show, but unfortunately the Uber driver took forever in the day to get to my house, and subsequently got lost a couple of times. But when we went over, we actually ended up having to go through a lot of puddles. This car was gonna die halfway there. So I got there, I ordered my ticket, selected the front row, selected a seat in like the not so front row because I didn't want to be up and close, but I wanted to be back a little bit. So credits, so opening credits rolled. Dragon Ball usually has opening credits. So I just want to say that I know some people who are going to watch this review, and you know who you are going to say that this is garbage, and it's not. Well, I always say to people, what is another man's garbage is another man's treasure. And Dragon Ball Super may be garbage to other people, but it may be a treasure to me. I may not be able to convert. I understand I'm not going to be able to convert anybody that hates the TV series. So for those of you who want to know, now the movie is called Dragon Ball Superhero. It's kind of just to give you a little basis. I think what's happening here is over the past I think over like the past decade or so, over the past decade or more, well, actually in the last couple of decades, and like the end of 2007 into the teens, into the 2020s, to the roaring 20s, like the 20s roared in, to COVID and all that other jazz. Marvel and DC and comic books have been shooting out different movies. So there's been Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, Joker, Superman, Iron Man, Black Panther, Captain America, all these superheroes I love because they are kind of the ones I watched as a kid. But I wanted to see what the Japanese take on superheroes would kind of be. Now to premise this story, I'm not going to give too many spoilers. So if you guys haven't seen the movie, I'm going to say this is not going to be spoiler heavy. I'm going to try not to spoil it because you guys are going to hate me if I do. I'm going to try to keep the spoiler light. I'm going to give hints and whatnot. So the film opens up. They give a history of Goku and the Red Ribbon Army, how he beat them. And for those of you who haven't watched the show, you guys can look up the history. He beat them, and it shows scenes. And I love it how in the beginning of the movie it says, the guy at the beginning was like, "Fans of a certain age will remember this," and that's sort of a nod to fans who watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z as a kid, and as a young adult, and as an early teen and as a young adult. So, and I grew up with the Super Dragon Ball craze in the mid-teens. I lived it, and I lived the whole Tournament of Power and everything. So, so it starts out with, it sort of shows you into the story how the Red Ribbon came to be, how it survived all these years. The Red Ribbon Army, you got to remember, since Goku and the gang defeated Dr. Giro's, it tells you, it goes into Dr. Giro, how he created the androids, how they backfired on him, how Cell came to be. And Damian Clark does actually do some voicing and does do something as Cell, Perfect Cell, but he doesn't really do too much voice acting, which I think was kind of at the beginning, which I think was kind of a mistake. I think they may have wanted to do more of a, I think they should have just had him go in, but I'm like, yeah, I'll get to that later. But, they focus on Magenta. Magenta is obviously a descendant of Commander Red. And if you guys don't know who Commander Red, well, he had the red hair. Each one of them had a different one. There was silver, blue, yellow, white, silver, black, and all those other ones. And Ninja Marosaki, if you remember him. Metillion, he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but type robot, who's kind of that inspiration. Dragon Ball does it a lot with their pop culture. They tend to take tropes and sort of cultural significance, and they try to fuse it in. You got to remember, this was made in like the 1980s, so this was made in like 1986. So these characters were made in 1984, 1985 in the manga. So, and this was right around when that whole thing came about, and Android. So it was sort of more of a nod to Terminator and Judgment Day and all that other stuff. No superhuman beings and stuff like that. That's where they got that. You're going to find out that the Japanese are shamefully, or very, actually not shamefully, but you find out that the Japanese like to imitate a lot of stuff and like to take on their take. So, so Magenta wants to revive the Red Ribbon Army, but he doesn't have a scientist to help him. Luckily, Dr. Hido, who is the son of Dr. Giro, I didn't even know Giro had a kid up until then. I'm like, what? So you meet Dr. Hido, and he's obviously, he's done he's done work with androids, obviously. So before Giro converted himself over to an android, apparently at some point, Giro had relations with a lady, and obviously we know that whole thing. So obviously Giro had a love life at one point, which was kind of amazing seeing, because he was a pretty sick puppy anyway. But and wanted to kill Goku because of the Red Ribbon Armies. So we go through that, and after talking in a car for seemingly 5 minutes with Magenta and Hido eating Oreo cookies for like passively, and he's just basically eating them, and all that other stuff. You're gonna see that that happens, and then they agree, oh, let's make androids, and then they go on to talk about Capsule Corp, how it's an evil organization, how how it's run by the Brief family, Bulma's family, and Goku, Vegeta, and Majin Buu, and Demon King Piccolo are obviously all part of the whole alien brand. So there's an alien invasion, and it was actually a very good. It goes like that. I will say this, from there on out, it's basically standard Dragon Ball Z stuff. There's a lot of fighting. Goku and Vegeta have like 5 seconds on screen. Whis and Beerus basically fill himself with ice cream. Go figure. Tila and the other guy, I think it's Tilo, and Leela, make themselves kind of comfortable on Beerus's planet. Broly's trying to kind of control his anger. And there's a little bit of character development on Vegeta in this movie. He's sitting there on a rock, and Goku's like, "Man, Vegeta, you've been sitting on that rock for about 5 days." And Vegeta's explaining to him how he watched Jiren during the Tournament of Power. So they are referring to the movie. So this is canon. This is not a separate thing going on. So this is obviously canon, and this actually exists. So they do reference the movie. It's not completely ripped off from the manga like the Dark Side of Dimensions was for Yu-Gi-Oh, which I love that movie. But he says, "Oh, I'm going to do this." And it's, "Oh, let's have a sparring match to test out my theory." They start fighting each other, and then it goes to Pan, oh, wait a second. And they get this is a little later in the movie when Whis is trying to get called by Bulma. So we have a moment with Pan and Piccolo, or Pan is training Piccolo. Pan is getting trained by Piccolo. And stuff like that. And I just want to say the music in this movie is very good. I liked the characters. I liked the score by what's his face? I think it's Nato. I think it's I forget his name, but it's some Nato. Rotten Tomatoes. Here we go. So the the screenplay was by Akira Toriyama. So I hope you guys aren't surprised about that one. Naoki Sato is the one. Sate Naoki, Sato Naoki did the score, and I have to say he did a very good. Now Naoki Sato did Rurouni Kenshin and a bunch of other ones. So yeah, I just want to say that and Tetsuya Kodama did the whole thing. Now did the whole soundtrack, and the soundtrack, I'm just gonna say this right now, for traditional Dragon Ball fans, you're not going to find a whole lot of the traditional music in here. There are hints of the tune, some of the themes that we've seen. Like you'll hear "No More" in one of the themes. It's the one where Vegeta fights Fusamasu. And then there's hints of Chala Hechala in a couple of the themes. But I think that what they wanted to do is they wanted to make it more superhero-like, and they wanted to make it more Americanized. They wanted to make it more Americanized in which, actually, this might be like 20 minutes watch. They wanted to make it more Americanized, which I liked. But the real star of this movie is the real star of this movie, obviously, that was really good was the animation. The animation is going to take a little bit getting used to. The ones they're doing now, they started it with Broly. I think they've improved it. And seeing in theaters, it's more CGI, 3D-ish. So it looks 2D on the screen, but the way people move, it's really, 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 really good. And I think they nailed it with the animation on moving. The fighting seems a little bit more fluid. It's not as hijiki-breaky, and you can actually see and it actually allows you to watch the fighting scenes a little bit better. They slow them down. They slow-mo them down at a couple of times. And, you know, they do, it's being a superhero movie with the action and stuff like that. They put a couple of, they put a couple comic book style bam, pam, pazam type on the, like Batman did. So I like that's a nod to the classic, like that's a classic superhero TV show. So, you know, for those of you of a certain age will know Batman, the Batman series with Adam West, you'll know when they hit the guys or when they kick people, as playing kapow, you know, that sort of thing. So that's a nod to that. That's a nod to the comic book genre. And seeing as Dragon Ball Super is a comic book / manga genre, it kind of fits. So it kind of has everything for there. And I give them praise for that. I give Akira Toriyama good thumbs up on adding that in there, because you gotta remember, he was with all his characters, he was inspired by Superman, Batman, and Iron Man. A lot of the guys who grew up over there grew up with Stan Lee and stuff like that. So so obviously they got that inspiration. It's nice to see the more Japanese style take on it. Character development is actually very good because this movie highlights the real winner. The real highlight, not the winner, the real highlight of this movie is them focused on Gohan and Piccolo for once, and not Vegeta and Goku. They do focus on Bulma and Trunks and Goten. Well, actually, not Trunks. They focus on Bulma somewhat. There's a couple fan service jokes about Bulma wanting cosmetic surgery via the Dragon Balls, and it's a running joke because Bulma's getting up there in age. Like, remember, she's not a Saiyan, so she doesn't age, so she ages a little bit. So, you know, I think she's like in her 40s. I think in the movie, I think she's I think she's 40 something, because Goten and Trunks are teenage now, are no longer kids. They're in their teens now. So I think it's a couple of years down the road now. So and so they were kind of highlighting, how people were kind of saying for the last like umpteen years that Gohan and Piccolo get shelved and everything. And I like that they did this. You'll see when you watch the movie. It obviously ends with the heroes winning. I mean, is that not too good? Is that not kind of prevalent? But the music's good. The characterization is good. I like it that they actually gave Piccolo some time to shine. Like, Piccolo, when he's in the TV show, he usually gets maybe 5 minutes on screen. In the episodes, he usually gets a funny line, or he has to babysit Pan, or he has to babysit Gohan, or he's telling Gohan, you have to get stronger. In this one, he actually realizes he has to get stronger, and he does get his potential unlocked by the dragon after Bulma asks for cosmetic surgery and her butt to look like firm as a teenage girl's. I kid you not, that's actually, and that joke gets played through the movie a lot. So a lot of critics are like, oh, they use old tropes. I'm like, that's Dragon Ball for you. There's nothing you can do about that. And plus, Bulma was the original gag character in terms of females and fan service and all this other stuff. For those of you who watch Dragon Ball, you guys will know what I mean. I like it that they actually gave Gohan and they actually gave them new transformations, because it was kind of, I think when Vegeta and Goku go up against them in the manga, or in the go up against them in the manga, and even though they have blue, I think Broly, and I think what should happen is Broly and the Red Ribbon Army thing should, I think these should highlight the beginning of the new anime, and I think Maro and I think what will happen is it will prompt Vegeta and Goku to get stronger and complete Ultra Instinct, and then get all divine ultra ego, whatever, divine unadulterated ego or something like that, or maximum ego, or whatever Vegeta wants to do, because he does have an ultra ego. I like the screenplay. I like the facts, and I liked the fact that they actually gave Gohan the chance to finish off the villain the way he did so many years ago, although with a little bit more help, and Piccolo going Giga Piccolo, Orange Piccolo, and Orange Piccolo has to be one of the weirdest looking transformations. It basically is his version of Super Saiyan, and in Beast Mode, Gohan basically looks like something out of a fanfic where the hair's all blown up, with the hair's all blown up and stuff like that. So, the hair's all blown up, on stuff like that. So, yeah, so you know how, yeah, so it kind of looks a little over the top. It basically reminds me of this, and Shannon, let's Reardon, can you get off of my screen, please?
You talking to me? Forget about it! I must have faith in my cars. I have faith in my cars. I have cars. Well, stop holding your breath, but the Joey Show's about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, to defense position. This activates my trap card, Dragon. When a base of monsters change from attack to defense position, all defense will be like you when a monster summon the mighty Dark Magician. My ever faithful friend and through help. My ever combat and in life. Who sing soulmate, my most loyal partner in this and through help. To be.
Yeah, his hair is his hair is kind of it's kind of a white Gohan with red eyes and stuff like that, but I kind of like the characterization. You guys will have to watch. And for those of you who have watched the original Cell versus Gohan fight, you guys will know the scene where he transforms into Super Saiyan 2. So it gave me that feeling, and it was very calm. It wasn't really dun 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 dun. It was very dun, and then he transforms, and it's kind of a quiet, serene type thing. So, and the scene that kind of made it was Cell Max punches him, and Cell Max is actually pretty good. I think they did him sort of well. He could have had a few more vocal lines like, come on, go hard, Gohan, remember me, and all this other stuff. the track when he comes out of his little gestation chamber or whatever it is like nightmare fuel. It's like Hitchcock and freaking Freud. It's like dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's like Jaws Psycho. It's like Jaws Psycho and all turned into one. And I finally like it that Piccolo and Gohan kind of shined in this one. They did very well. They didn't need Goku's help, Goku and Vegeta's help, because Goku and Vegeta, as you know, are busy sparring. And, oh yeah, and I forgot, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, these two have to be the two most interesting characters. Now, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are both the androids that are modeled after superheroes, and you know, decent characterization. I thought they were very strong. They gave Gohan and Gohan and Piccolo a good run for their money. I think when Gohan went Super Saiyan 2, they were decently formidable, and I think they were meant to be like that. And that's good to see that, you know, they give them a tough fight and they're not knocking them down and stuff like that. They were saving the real transformation for the fight. They were saving the real transformations for the real fight with Cell, and Cell, and using his extending arms, he gets them into a full Nelson and stuff like that. But Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are very good. Gamma 2 especially, he kind of gives the heroes a fighting chance, and then Goten and Trunks form Fat Gotenks, and they're not very useful, but they help out Smash do damage to Cell a little bit. And then Gamma 2 is the one who is the real all-star, the real superhero of the show. He kind of sets everything up so that they can eventually so they can set up for the climax of for Gohan's transformation, and Piccolo going freaking Gigantamax, freaking going Giga Gigantamax. So which I thought was a little over the top. I said, hi, it's an ode to the Dragon Ball series. So, yeah. And as I said, the soundtrack was very good. The stuff is really good. It seems that Dr. Hato and Gamma 1, you guys will have to watch the movie to see what happens to Gamma 2. But Gamma 1 and Hato would decide to join Bulma and join forces, because the Red Ribbon Army is kind of depleted after that, and the Red Ribbon Army base kind of suffers a chronic malfunction, a chronic destruction. So I'll leave that up to the viewers who watch it. And I really like the ending sequence. Pan learns how to fly after she struggles. I think Pan's like 3. She struggles for a little. Actually, I think she's either 4 or 5. I can't remember. She struggles for a little bit, but she learns to fly at the end. Piccolo's a proud papa because Goku's not around, and Goku's gonna be like, "What happened? Pan learned how to fly, and Pan learned how to actually fly and stuff like that." Even though Pan learned actually how to fly actually. So yeah, the credits roll. We get a decent ending score. I think it was very good, and they used the ending score for they use parts of the ending score in some of the tunes. It's kind of a centerpiece of the movie. You guys will notice the theme when the theme plays. When there's an heroic moment that's about to go on, obviously this will play. I think it's Evil Organization and Awakening, and the Awakening of the themes. So, and we get the credits and everything, and everybody in the audience is like, so what happened to Goku and Vegeta in their fight? Well, the credits end after a very cool everything, after a really cool ending and a really cool soundtrack. And it shows them finished in their sparring match. I won't tell you who wins, but let's just say they've no Super Saiyan Blue, no nothing. You can see ruts all over the planet. At least the planet's not destroyed. Even though we've told them it's not. They can always do a do-over, you know, because I think the whole fight only lasted like 2 minutes, not even, because while this is happening, you know. In the because I think all this is happening in like a day. I think all of this stuff is happening in like a day or two. This stuff happens in like, this all happens in one day. So I'm pretty sure this wasn't a couple of weeks. This wasn't a couple of days, and that's the whole fight. So, so yeah, I give Dragon Ball Superhero a I'm gonna give it a I'm going to give it 95 out of 100, or a 9 out of 10, or a 9. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, or a 9.5 out of 10. The reason why I don't give it a 5 is obviously, is because there was a couple of things they could have done better with it. Max could have had a little bit more character, could have had a few more lines. He could have been hyped up a little bit better. I would have liked Piccolo to technically, I would have liked Piccolo to have, you know, actually, Piccolo actually did a very good job, but Max was a little off. The story, Goku and Vegeta could have obviously guided them and obviously could have given them pointers, but I think I think they were going to do this without it, and I think they wanted to focus more on Gohan and Piccolo on this one. So, the Max fight could have been a little longer. I think what happened is they said, oh, well, he's going to have a beast transformation going. So it kind of reminds me of when he blocks. I think Max could have obviously powered up a little bit more. He could have had a little bit more, a few more lines. I just think it was a very good movie. 9.5 out of 10 in my book, or a 95 out of 10 in my book, is actually very good. So, I definitely recommend you guys watch it. It's definitely worth $13 if you watch it during the morning or in the early afternoon, like I did. I do caution people who have photosensitivity or to lights or flashing lights and everything. I do caution you. You might want to dim or shut your eyes when certain blasts happen, and anybody who gets motion sick might not want to watch this movie. So, but I thought it was a very good movie. I thought it was very well made, and for it to open 10 million on the first day was very good. It's made like 20 worldwide. It's made like 30 million, or it's already made, I think, like 30 somewhat million already. I think it's made 18 in Japan, and I think it's made like 20. I think it's made like 30 something here already. So. So that's actually pretty damn good. So I think that's a very good opening, and I think it could have been higher because of the pandemic. It may have been a little bit higher over time because of the pandemic. I know Broly is probably going to outclass it, but you got to remember it's a new genre, and people who came out to watch it obviously knew the value of this movie. It's not always in the box office success. I mean, for an anime to do 10 million and outclass Thor, Top Gun, and a bunch of other movies on their first day because of the pandemic. I know a lot of people are watching it at home, but to see people actually coming out to see something fresh Actually, this was a fresh breath of air, I think, for a lot of people to see an anime-related feature. So, yeah. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Sorry I bent your ear for 34 minutes, but I really liked the movie, and I thought it was very good. They're definitely going to continue with it. I think they could definitely. I think they could definitely work. While Goku and Vegeta are off doing their planetary stuff, I think they could definitely use this on Earth, and they could use this on Earth because they are training in one thing and Broly's with them. They could definitely work that into the story when they revive the anime. I think this will be very good when Super decides to do it. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna end this for tonight. I'm probably long overdue. So all right, guys, I am going to bid this one adieu. I will see you guys later. I'll see you guys for a gear change show tomorrow afternoon when I come, well, maybe 2 hours after I come home from work. So, but yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and that is my review of Dragon Ball Super on episode 52. So peace out.